First, watch this video.
I mean, can you imagine how awesome it will be to have American astronauts plant the flag on another planet for the first time? Bam! Yeah! This is what victory feels like. Yeah! I love you guys.
So what you see, SpaceX is a rocket company, but reality is totally different. SpaceX isn't just a rocket company. In fact, rockets may end up being its least valuable business. Millions of people talk about SpaceX like they understand it. They know the launches. They know the landings. They know Elon Musk's tweets. But almost none of them could tell you where the actual money is supposed to come from in 10 years. And if you can't answer that, you're not investing. You're watching a spectacle. Ask 10 people what SpaceX does, and you'll get the same answer. It's a rocket company. That's not wrong. It's just dangerously incomplete. Rockets aren't the business. Rockets are the infrastructure, the delivery mechanism. The real question is what SpaceX is built to capture once that infrastructure exists. Almost nobody asks that. Let's actually answer it. Here's something most investors get backwards. Launches, the part everyone films, everyone talks about, aren't projected to be SpaceX's biggest source of value. Many analysts who've studied the company's internal economics believe Starlink, the satellite internet arm, could eventually make up the majority of SpaceX's total worth. Think about what that means. The company famous for rockets may ultimately be valued as an internet and connectivity business. One selling access, not access to orbit. That single reframe changes how you'd read every other part of this company. It changes how you'd think about growth, about margins, about what actually deserves your attention in a filing. And that's just one layer. There's also the defense and government contract side, which doesn't behave like typical revenue and shouldn't be evaluated like it. There's an emerging AI infrastructure thread most retail investors haven't even noticed yet. There's a capital allocation story, how a private company with zero obligation to explain itself decides where billions go. Each of these, on its own, could shift how you'd value the whole thing. Here's the uncomfortable part. You just learned something real about SpaceX in the last 90 seconds. But one insight isn't a framework. And a framework is what separates understanding a company from just collecting facts about it. To actually evaluate SpaceX, you'd need to connect the business model to the financials to a valuation method, the valuation to the competitive moat, and all of it to the risks that don't make headlines. Isolated videos, even good ones, hand you facts one at a time. They rarely hand you the structure that connects them. Without that structure, you're not investing. You're guessing with better vocabulary. That's the gap this handbook was built to close. It was built by synthesizing analyst reports, filings, and public industry data into one structured breakdown. The way a serious analyst would actually approach the company, not the way a headline does. It covers the company overview and business model, the real revenue drivers, and a full financial analysis. A dedicated Starlink deep dive, the exact layer we just touched on, taken all the way through. An honest look at the AI strategy, the competitive landscape, and the risks worth actually taking seriously. A valuation framework you can apply yourself, not just read about. Red flags most fans overlook, investor checklists, a due diligence framework, a glossary, and professional references throughout. It won't tell you SpaceX is a good investment or a bad one. That's not its job. Its job is making sure whatever conclusion you reach it with the full picture. Not one layer of it. SpaceX isn't simple. It's not fully public, not fully transparent, and it's definitely not a company you can understand through headlines, hype, or a few viral videos. You just saw one layer. The handbook breaks down every major piece the same way. From the business model and Starlink economics to valuation, competitive advantages, risks, and the questions serious investors actually ask before committing capital. The market doesn't reward people who know the headlines. It rewards people who understand the business underneath them. If you're serious about understanding SpaceX, not just following Elon Musk. This handbook was built for you. The link is in the description. Because spending a few hours with a structured research handbook is far cheaper than making an investment decision based on incomplete information. If you want to stop thinking like a spectator and start analyzing companies like an investor, get your copy today and start building the framework you'll use long after the headlines disappear.